remind me a little bit of Felix Trinidad. So Trinidad had more technique. Yeah, way more technique.
Way more fundamental.
Yes. And this guy, man, Matias, he fell into a guy that he underestimated. He didn't think this guy would be able to take his power and be able to sustain the punches. But what he was able to do was he timed those shots. All the shots he saw him coming, because Matias depends on his power so much, he telegraphs a lot of his shots. So you could see him coming. But most people normally shell up and don't return. What he kept doing was giving them angles. He kept turning to an angle and making them have to reset. See, when you use your feet and when you sit down on your power shots, like Matias likes to do, he normally has a stationary target. It's somebody putting their gloves up. He's not used to somebody just taking a half step over or getting off line and stepping back, and getting out of distance and out of range and just changing. Then power would dictate when he want to come forward, and he's smothering him. And this is what Martin should have did with Tank. You got to smother him. You're bigger than Tank. So you should be on him, smothering them shots. Then those shots don't hurt as much on the inside because you smothering his punches. He ain't getting full extension on him. So you big man in him, so you have to have that mentality. Some people don't know how to do that. You gotta have that mentality to do it, but you gotta step to them sometimes.
You gotta know how to deal with power. You gotta be the most relaxed when you're inside with someone that can punch. As dangerous as it is, you have to be the most relaxed you can be. You can't be tense in dealing with someone that can punch. When you tense up, it's harder to take a punch when you tense. But when you relax, you can deal with their power so much better. And you have to teach a young man that. You gotta walk him through training camp. That's something I wouldn't deal with Martin. I wouldn't walk out. I would have told him, you're gonna get hit, you're gonna get hurt, we're gonna get buzzed. But what we do after that? So I would work with him and show him situations that he would have put himself in and he couldn't have been hurt in situations. You gotta be the most relaxed when you're dealing with power on the inside. When you fight Mike Tyson, you can't be nervous. When you fight Tank, you gotta lock in and be relaxed. You deal with power much better when you relax instead of tense. And that's something you have to teach a fighter through experience, because there will be something I would have put in the training camp. If I was in training camp with Martin, I would have told him, man, you're gonna get hit, you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get buzzed. What we do after that? You have to be the most relaxed on the inside. You can't tense up on the inside. You gotta put your balls really on the table. And in doing that, you have a better chance of winning. If you suck up to his power and tense up to it, and you can't, when you tense up, you lose your confidence. You have to stay relaxed when you're in the most tense position in the inside. And that's hard to do. You gotta train someone to do that. Power is hard to deal with and be relaxed with power. And that's one thing I learned when I was boxing. As hard as they hit, the more relaxed you have to be. If you're not able to do that and able to do that, it's gonna be a tough night. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I would have did with Martin and with the rest of what we were talking about in one training camp. And then we had more walks and talks and going for long walks. You gotta talk to a fighter, you gotta train, you gotta teach them internally. Everybody can teach the pads and pad work and hit the bag, but can't teach internally, can't teach with your eyes. When fighters look in my eye, they know I'm telling the truth. They're gonna try it whatever I say, because they believe me. And that's the one thing that you can't teach. Eyes don't lie, only mouths.
Yeah.
100%.